hope you guys are doing fine at home. Today, this video will be about informative speech. The content of this video will be the goal of informative speech, the characteristic of effective informative speaking, techniques to make the speech memorable, the diverse learning style of audience, and lastly, the major methods of informing. Okay, let's go! The first thing that we should know is what is informative speech and what is the goal of it. First, informative speech should answer questions about a topic. What, how, why, how to, how does. For example, a speech about making a sandwich. The content should be about how to make the sandwich. Who are going to make the sandwich? And what are the reasons we are making the sandwich?
Informative speech is different from other speech forms such as to persuade, to entertain, and to celebrate. This type of speech goals is simply to achieve mutual understanding about an object, person, place, process, event, idea, concept, or issue. But for informative speech, the goal is to explain or describe facts, truth, and principles in a way that stimulates interest, facilitates understanding, and increases the likelihood of remembering.
Even maybe your first presentation in class is actually an informative speech. When you act as a teacher or a lecturer and you are giving information to others, your speech will be judged in light of three general criteria. Is the information communicated accurately, clearly, and is the information made meaningful and interesting to the audience?
Next, how can we recognize either the speech is informative or not? So here are the three characteristics of informative speech. First of all, the speech must be relevant. Relevance are statements that clarify which a particular point may be important to a listener. Second is creative. The speech must be creative to be considered as informative speech, as creative speech will lead the innovative ideas. And the third is the speech must be memorable. If the speech is informative enough, so it will be remembered easily by the audience.
My name is Irdina. Today I would like to share with you the 5 techniques in making informative speeches memorable. So, the first technique for making informative speeches memorable is by using presentational aids, as it can help in providing the opportunity for the audience to retain a visual as well as an audio memory of important or difficult material. For example, we can use picture, audio, or object while delivering our speech. By doing this technique, audience will become more understand and remember about the complicated information that we deliver, as they can hear and see it. The second technique is repetition. This technique is used to give audience a second or third chance to retain important information by repeating or paraphrasing it. People attend to capture information if it is being repeated. The third technique is transition. We use this technique to increase the likelihood that the audience will retain the relationship among the information being presented, including which important is primary and which is supporting. Transition is a gap between one point to another. Audience will understand more as they can find the relationship between the point that we are trying to deliver. The fourth technique is humor and other emotional anecdotes. Some might think that humor are useless in making informative speech memorable, but it actually can create an emotional memory to link important ideas. The last technique for making informative speeches memorable is mnemonic and acronyms. This technique can provide an easily remembered memory prompt or shortcut to increase the likelihood that the list is retained. This is because people are more likely to remember short and precise information rather than difficult and complicated ones.
Hi and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Siti Zulaika binti Hasbullah, and today under the topic of informative speaking, I'm going to talk about the diverse learning styles. Well, effective informative speeches are developed in ways that address diverse learning styles. Why? Because the member of your audience differ in how they prefer to learn. And diverse learning styles will make your speeches more understandable, meaningful, and memorable for all. So when using diverse learning styles, you have to make sure that it is appealed to 4 different dimensions, namely feeling dimension, watching dimension, thinking dimension, and doing dimension. First, let's look at feeling dimension. Feeling dimension involves the usage of concrete, vivid images, stories, and examples. For watching dimension, it is involved the usage of visual aids, appropriate gestures, and appropriate expressions. In thinking dimension, the speaker has to use clear macrostructure and relevant data. The last one is doing dimension, where the speaker will usually use demonstration and hands-on features. Speakers and educators should really include diverse learning styles in their speeches to make it more interesting, fun, and interactive.
Methods of informing can be classified into 5 methods. First and foremost, description. Description is a method used to create an accurate, vivid, verbal picture of an object, geographic feature, setting, event, person, or even image. This method usually answers an overarching who, what, or where question. Next is definition. Definition is a method that explains the meaning of something. You can define a word or idea by classifying it and differentiating it from similar ideas, by explaining its derivation or history, by explaining its use or function, or by using a familiar synonym or antonym. The third one is comparison and contrast. Comparison and contrast is a method of informing that focuses on how something is similar to and different from other things.
Next is narration. Narration is a method of informing that recounts an autobiographical or biographical event, a myth, a story, or some other account. Characteristics of a good narration include a strong storyline, use of a descriptive language, and details that enhance the plot, people, setting, and events, effective use of dialogue, pacing that builds suspense, and a strong voice. The last one is demonstration. Demonstration is a method of informing that shows how something is done, displays the stages of a process, or depicts how something works. In a demonstration, you organize the steps from first to last so that your audience will be able to remember the sequence. Effective demonstrations require considerable practice.